Hello and welcome to Breakfast All Day. I'm Matt here with Alonso and with Christy. We're going to talk about a movie that's new on Hulu called Palm Springs. Christy, tell us all about it, please.
It's another day like every other day, but it takes place in Palm Springs. You may have heard of Palm Springs even before any ads for it came out, because this was the record sale ever movie at Sundance. Hulu and Neon paid $22 million for Palm Springs. And what's interesting about it is that it's going to play really differently to us now than it probably did at Sundance, where you could watch it with a collective audience and enjoy how funny it is, because it's a Groundhog Day movie. You know, it's each day is exactly like the last. It's living the same day over and over again, which is a structure that is sadly especially resonant to all of us these days. But what I love about this is that they find a different way into that conceit. So Andy Samberg and Cristin Milioti meet at a wedding in Palm Springs. She is the sister of the bride, and he's just kind of there, like he's there. And he's the guest of one of the bridesmaids, but he's got kind of a tangential presence in the whole proceedings of it. And she drunkenly makes out with him and follows him into a cave in the desert. And something happens. This is all in the trailer, by the way. Something happens that magically transforms her. And he'd warned her, don't come in. But she does. And then she gets stuck in the time loop with him. And what I love about this movie is that it's a really daring and profane and edgier version of that Groundhog Day conceit, where they're not trying to learn from the mistakes of the previous days. Like if you look at Live, Die, Repeat, you know, right. like Tom Cruise is learning how to beat the aliens a little bit better each time with Emily Blunt. If you look at Groundhog Day, like Bill Murray becomes a little bit better of a person with each day, and it's heartwarming by the end.
Right. Or Happy Death Day, right? Like she's trying to escape being killed. And when she finally does, like that's what solves it, right?
There's a goal. There's not really a goal here. They're just fucking around with people. And I love that about it. I love that like they're wallowing in the existential dread and just saying, you know what, we're stuck here. Let's just get drunk and mess with people at the dive bar. Let's break into somebody's vacation home and just float around in the pool. And I love that. I mean, and by accident, they kind of become better versions of themselves, and they kind of open up to each other. And they don't intend to.
She actively makes an effort to sort of like change things, and sort of he then realizes that he needs to change things too. You know, like he's very happy in this rut. He's not happy necessarily, but he is thoroughly resigned to it. And then comes a moment where he has to finally realize that he's maybe capable of more. It's interesting watching this and The Old Guard back to back, because they both kind of play on the same thing. The Old Guard is about immortals, and these are people who technically don't age or die or anything, because they just go through this. They can't even kill themselves. They just go through the cycle over and over again. And so it was weird watching them back to back in these times.
That's a good point. Yeah. And I like that too. I think in other versions of this kind of story, like the people who were stuck in the rut don't necessarily try to kill themselves. Like Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt in Live. Does he?
Oh yeah, he tries it several times and that doesn't work either.
Right.
Okay. But the fact that like it's really graphic, the things that they do, and they just don't work. And the fact that they try to like they walk through all of the things that you might try yourself to get out of this time loop. Like if you just leave the place where it happened, you know, she drives home to Austin. But it doesn't do any good because she wakes up back in the same hotel room in Palm Springs. This is the feature debut of both director Max Barbakow and writer Andy Ciara. They have both done some shorts prior to this and worked together on shorts. And I really love, the voice is very specific and it's very daring. I like J.K. Simmons in it.
Yes.
He has kind of a hilariously menacing presence in it. And
he gets to be both dastardly and paternal, which is, a combo that he can pull off.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it though.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a movie where I thought, okay, we're going to Groundhog Day it. Really, that's it. And that's just like the launching point. Like that's okay. We're going to establish this. You know what this is, but now we're going to look at it, at how it affects these characters and what they do and how they do it and what it means about them and what it says about life in general. You know, because obviously these are always metaphorical. These Groundhog Day situations. Yeah, no, I don't know why they would pay $22 million for it at Sundance. I think that's one of those the altitude things, but it's lovely. It's very funny, and I enjoyed it a lot.
I wouldn't have paid that much, but I could see someone thinking that this was going to be a monster hit in theaters, and it probably would have been. I thought that this was. I really like this. Right? I mean, it's you know, in spite of the fact, like, oh, we know this story. I'm kind of impressed that people keep coming up with these cool ways of I mean, look, like there's a bunch of them that haven't worked, but this one you know, is another movie that it's taken a new approach to this and does something interesting. It's really her story more than anything else, I think, less so than Samberg's. You know, he's content to just stay there, whereas she, you know, initially like, oh, I have to be selfless, that's the thing, like, nope, that's not what it is, right? She's very funny. You know, they both can pivot from being just kind of really broad and really silly to fairly serious. You know, this movie is messy where it needs to be. You know, it especially because
what does that mean?
Well, like messy in that, like, her story about, you know, as you learn more about her and what she's waking up to and who she is,
it has complexities.
It has, yeah. I mean, she's, you know, these are relatively complex characters, you know, and it's fun that we come into this, you know, right from the get-go. Samberg's been there for a long time. I thought this was really funny. It kept surprising me. I really, really like this.
Interestingly, we never really find out how he started, like how his loop started, but
we do.
I don't. Do we?
The thing with the cave,
right? But I mean, does he explain how he goes in there the first time? Like he explains how J.K. Simmons did, but okay, maybe I missed that part then.
I will tell you afterward.
Fine, but what I do think is interesting is that they allow her to be so complicated and imperfect and, you know, whatever, a character, and you know, so she's not just like the girl, you know, who fixes everything while he gets to be the fuck up. Like she's also kind of a fuck up, and she also has to sort of like take steps not just to get them out of the loop, but to get herself out of just her general, you know, loop of bad decisions and whatever else that her life has been in. So, you know, bravo for that.
And she's great. And they have just terrific chemistry with each other. I had never seen her in anything. Like she was on Fargo. She was on Black Mirror, which I've never watched either of those. She has a small role in The Wolf of Wall Street, but they have crazy chemistry, and there's just like, there's this presence to her, and there's a deadpan delivery, and they have really, really snappy banter in a way that is sly and funny and raunchy, and like they're constantly matching each other and pushing each other. It's a lot of fun to watch. And Andy Samberg gets to be more dramatic here than we have seen him ever before, and he rises to that challenge quite well. I would say.
Okay. She is Alison Tolman's sister on Fargo. Okay.
I've never seen
I did watch that show. So, all right. Interesting. Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's, this is more than you would expect it to be, in not just for being kind of like a wacky Lonely Island comedy, but also for the genre that they set up and stuff. It's constantly surprising, which is a thing we always complain we don't get enough of.
Yes. It also, it pushes things in a sexual way that I found not just shocking for shock's sake, but also a kind of like open-minded and like, oh, okay.
Yes. Agreed.
Anyway, which I won't go into further detail, so you can enjoy the surprises.
Let them be a surprise.
I'm saying 8.4.
Did I say 8.5?
You said 8.
8 it is.
Okay,
What
Matt
did I
said
say? 8.5?
You said
Yep, 8.5.
Yes.
There we go.
Our number is an 8.3. It's really great. Don't let that number, that $22 million number, like make you expect that it's going to be the best movie ever, but it is very, very, very good. Like that Sundance hype is powerful, but
Absolutely.
this is, I would say this meets that hype. It's really good.
Get that Hulu free trial if you don't already have Hulu. It's worth it for this. All right. Thanks for watching. Like this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And do check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. We are, speaking of Hulu, right now recapping Love, Victor. And also got lots of other fun stuff that is exclusive to our members, including they voted, and we will be reviewing from the catalog of Joel Schumacher, his 1990 medical thriller Flatliners next week. So check out Patreon for that. Thanks you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.